third phase of moon. Third.
Hello?
Hey, Tay, it's Blake Cousins. How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Hey, good. Is it too late to call now? I just got your email. I'd like to look at that photo or photos that you're talking about.
No. It's not too late. Yeah, man. It's just the whole experience is kind of weird because I've been watching your channel for a long time and been a huge fan, but I've seen some weird, gnarly stuff like a couple months ago or even like a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden the blood moon, I'm like looking up there and I'm thinking to myself, is the moon real? I'm just asking all these questions, just like I'm just staring at it.
Sure.
I turn to my left and I'm like, oh.
Hold on a sec. Tay, can I record this? Can I share this conversation on Third Phase?
Say that again? You were breaking out.
May I share this on Third Phase of Moon, this conversation that we're having right now?
Yeah, man, it's not a problem.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you turned left. What did you see?
So I turned left, I'm looking up, and I looked up and I just paused, and I'm like, is that a V? And then the first thing I thought was that TRB or TR3B, whatever. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, where's my cell phone? So I grabbed my cell phone, I just started snapping photos. And I snapped like 4 or 5 photos, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, no, this is not, like, I blinked a couple times, and I literally went inside, and I went back outside, it's still there. And I'm looking at, like, it didn't move. There were clouds around it, and I'm just looking at myself, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, shit, like, is there, like, a craft that's going to come through or come by? I didn't see how it was formed or anything. I just looked up and it was there. And then I think that night I went online just to see if anyone reported anything. I didn't see anything. But the next night,
absolutely,
there's a couple other channels, and then people people posted it, and
sure.
I think I was probably the closest to this thing because I was probably about a quarter of a mile from being directly underneath it. So I'm like looking at this thing like it's crazy. I was standing there for almost an hour. There were some reports online like, oh, it was there for 35 minutes. No, I was there like for almost an hour. I would say about 52 to 53 minutes, and I was just staring at it. And nothing happened. The clouds was just the same formation. Like, I swear to you, like, it moved with the earth. Like, it just moved simultaneously. It didn't change formation. The clouds around it didn't change. I'm staring at it, and like, it was just still there. I went inside, and I called my friends up, and I'm like, hey, do you see the V, like, right above you? And they're like, they went outside, like, oh, yeah, I see it in the distance. And I'm like, isn't that kind of weird? They're like, all of them were like, I guess, like, they weren't really thinking. I'm like, no, like, does that shit look like it's natural? They're like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, looking good, because I think I thought I was going crazy. I was like, I see it. It's huge. This thing was massive. It wasn't like a small little V or something like a kid would look up and be like, oh, that's the shape of a chicken or shape of a heart. You know what I mean? It's a huge V. You can't miss it.
Well, let me ask you this. It's these photographs have been making the rounds on the internet. It's a first. I've been trying to get in contact with somebody that actually wanted to share their story and their side of what they witnessed themselves. Appreciate you sharing this right now. Do you have the photographs? Can we? Are you going to send it over?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Is this your cell phone? I'll text it to you right now.
Okay, I'm going to send you my email, and definitely we'll share it. I just wanted to get some more questions. Exactly when did this take place, and where was your location, and what part in Los Angeles?
Yeah, it's in Orange County, and it was on the blood moon night. It was just the blood moon night, and I was just, I looked up, it was on Huntington Beach, and I looked up, and I'm just like,
that's what I think.
It was just there. It was just there. I don't know what else to say, yeah.
That's what's pretty amazing, is it takes people in a major kind of celestial event for people to keep an eye on the skies, like, oh, there's a meteor shower coming up, or there's a full moon. People start looking up in the skies, and that's when the UFO sightings start to happen. Was this an object, in your opinion? What do you think it was?
In my honest opinion, this might sound crazy, but for a V shape like that, I personally think that there was probably something above it. I didn't see any light because it was pretty thick.
Yep.
There's a pretty thick marine layer in one. That's another weird thing about it is there's an area that has a thick marine layer, and then all of a sudden to the right of it is this clear moon. The moon was clear. There was nothing covering it. There was nothing around it. But then left of it, or behind it, or whatever you want to call it, it was just, this thick marine cloud layer, and then there's this V. I'm thinking maybe somehow, or if there was a craft or something or whatever this UFO is that was above it, and maybe it got too close, so it vaporized around the edges, and it was shaped as a V. That was my conclusion, and I still think that's what happened, because there's no way. How in the world is there a V that's shaped in the sky, and it just stayed there? And something's got to come out of it, or something's got to happen for that shape to happen.
Phase of Moon.
Welcome back, Blake Cousins here. Third phase of Moon. We got Preston Dennett and Dr. J, Andy Elias with Dr. J Radio Live. We're going to be going over video just submitted to us at Third Phase Moon, all the way from the UK. I've attached the whole text of the person that shot this. His name is Gary. He's been sitting on this video footage for a while. He says he wants it shared to the world, so we're going to do that right now. Preston and Dr. J, hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, always. It's a pleasure.
Well, last week we did something quite incredible with Snowden. When we talked about Snowden altogether, about what he thought about encrypted messages from aliens, how they're not making it to Earth. That video went viral. People woke up. Now we want to share this. And the reason why I brought Preston in is because you're an expert on UFOs, USOs.
Everything.
Yeah, before we get to the video, I want to ask you, Preston, what got you interested first in this USO phenomenon?
Well, it started actually when I was researching a wave of sightings over Topanga Canyon. This was back in the mid-1990s, actually. And I started to get a lot of reports of these ocean-going UFOs right off the Southern California coast here. And, at first it was just one or two. Then it was around 10, and I started paying attention to it. And I put a chapter in my book, UFOs over California. And that's when I started getting more reports, and one thing kind of led to another. And I've got about 100 reports now of these objects coming in and out of the water. And not only in this area, but across the world, for that matter.
Dr. J, I know Malibu's a hot spot, and I think you're going to be quite amazed with this video. Dr. J, what's your impression of Malibu, this underwater base, and many sightings of UFOs entering and exiting the Pacific Ocean?
It's funny you said that. Tomorrow's guest is Richard Shaw, and he, of course, was approached to do a film on this shelf. As you know, Preston Dennett is not just a paranormal researcher, everything under the sun. He is the world-renowned, literally the world expert on USOs for the Pacific Ocean. And as you recall, we did a case where he investigated last year Boy Scouts. Over 200 kids saw over 200 craft over a period of 8 hours, 8 different shapes and sizes. And so I'm every time I think of USOs or anything like that, UFOs in general, Preston comes to mind. So I'd love to see more Malibu. It's too deep for us to go with scuba divers. We need a drone.
Yeah, absolutely. Underwater submersible. We've actually reached out to James Cameron himself, the master of underwater discovery. He's broken records. And
with
hopefully
Titanic, that's right.
He'll be the guy to do it. You know what? Let's get to the video right now. We're sharing the screen. I'm going to pull up the video. We've also done some enhancements that we're going to be going over. But let's first take a look at the raw along with the audio. Then we'll get to analysis as the video of our enhancements gets going. Let's get to it. Here's the video from the UK. Is there sound coming up?
No, because we're on Skype.
Here we go.
Whoa.
Yeah, to me it looks like a grained diamond-shaped UFO, but look at it closely here. The camera's a little shaky, but he has his telephoto lens going on it.
That's bizarre. whatever that thing was that flew across, landed on the sea, floated a bit, and then went under it. I filmed it.
This is quite interesting. Preston, here's the close-up.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's definitely a solid object, whatever it is. Now, what the first impression, honestly, it looks like a balloon, sort of mylar type of thing. But as it continues, when we dive in the water there,
look how it just gets swallowed up and kind of engulfed in a
right.
This slowed down footage right there. That was slowed down.
Right.
This is real time video right here. And then as it makes, so we got now two different angles going on it.
Well, it's clearly that there's something physically out there. I mean, it doesn't look like something was, pixelated in or anything like that. You can tell by the shadows, and that this is at least a couple of feet large, possibly larger. I'm most interested in the way it hits the water like that. And,
thank you for saying that, Preston. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because as you know, Preston, right, you've actually said this yourself, these UFOs or USOs that travel underwater, and they have this gravity field around them. So when they're entering water, they're not touching water, are they?
No, I don't think they are, and that's why we see these things go in and out without even a splash. Now, this thing was moving pretty slowly, and in a manner that it is, not in a way that I would immediately point to and say, oh, this is unknown. By that I mean it's not darting around, it's not moving at super high speeds, it's not stock still in the sky. So its motion is a little bit ambiguous, and it's hard to say without actually interviewing the witness, because you can certainly get a lot of information from the witness himself.
Well,
But
yeah, speaking of the eyewitness, let me just go over some of the testimony that he stated here, and it's in the text, and I invite you to read it as well. I don't see it here. Let me see. Let me pull it up on my Google. And what he says is quite interesting. That here it is. His name is Gary, and here's a text right here. He says,
perfect.
Yeah, there you go. If you want to read it, he's stating it. I've never heard of Buphoria, but here he says it's my intention to never release this video for fear of being ridiculed. But I think it's time to share it. And go ahead, read what he says next, Preston.
Well, I like the first line is one that I've heard before from other people who send me their photographs and their stories, saying, I don't want, I've hesitated to talk about this, for fear of ridicule or being laughed at. And so he's telling me that, or in this email, he's saying that he sent this to Bufora, who told him it was a flare parachute, which he says is beyond ridiculous. And no, it doesn't look like a parachute to me. It looks like a three-dimensional object. My friends have been at me to post this for a long time, so here it is. You will see that it is clearly You will clearly see that it is controlled and is similar to others seen in South America. It approaches the water at an angle and straightens up before entering the sea. All right, this is perfect. We're getting a sense of what he saw. When slowed down, you will see that the UFO fires something into the sea before landing. All right, that wasn't perfectly clear on the video, but so that's even nicer to hear because this indicates to me.
Let's get back to the video real quick, and then let's see if we see any kind of flash, and we'll just play it in real time here. Let's see, right as it's entering the ocean, and then there is.
All right.
You saw something. Could that have been just a flare off, a glare off the sun or something? But he was there in person. Let's get back to the email. Here it is.
Right. Yeah. When he's describing stuff that isn't perfectly clear on the video, that's a good indication to me that he's a sincere witness, because he's telling us stuff that he wouldn't necessarily. He's not. What I'm saying is sticking exactly to what the video is showing. He's talking about what he actually saw.
Exactly.
Which speaks towards his sincerity. Yeah, it's an interesting video. You don't often see these colors of UFOs bright green. Usually they're silver and things like this. But, I'm going to be honest, you do get all kinds. Bright red ones, yellow, blue. So, I don't know. It's an interesting video. I'm not surprised to see more and more of these types of videos coming out because we have so much technology these days. Right. Well, we got to remember there is a cover-up of this subject, and it's still active. And if you get a hold of evidence, and particularly photographic evidence and things like this, material evidence, there's a high danger of ridicule and, worse. So,
yeah, appreciate you guys both joining us right here at Third Phase Moon. As we're sharing it live to the world right now, we're not exactly sure what was captured. Yeah, it could have been a balloon, or it could have been a parachute. But let me tell you, there are sightings from around the world that have this similar shape and design. And, man, the way it just disappeared into the ocean there, it seemed a little suspicious. And from the eyewitness testimony, I think a balloon would look like, right?
Well, let me say this, though. As a skydiver myself, that is not a parachute. And parachutes, when we jump, mine is 190 square feet. But the pilot chute, which is a smaller parachute, which launches the main parachute, is maybe 3-4 foot diameter. That is not a parachute.
Right. Nor is it it's not a lifeboat or a life buoy or anything like that, clearly.
Exactly.
I think the only possible thing it could be is skeptically speaking, is a balloon. But then you'd have to ask the question, what's it doing way out there? What kind of balloon is this? Are there...
And why does it suck into the water so fast?
Exactly. If it was a balloon, it would have just floated on the surface and just floated away. It seemed like it wanted to submerge, and immediately, within a second or so, it was out of sight. Right. Balloon would have floated on the surface if it was, lighter than air.
Well, the witness felt that it was controlled movement. So that also speaks towards it being something unusual.
Absolutely.
And another thing that's difficult to tell, even with the video, is its size. So, because we don't have anything to relate it to. The witness would probably be the more reliable person to talk to, or a photo analyst. But you can clearly see that this thing is not terribly far away. It doesn't look extremely large.
It's a matter to interpretation on the size. I think it is a telephoto lens on it. And, at a distance, I would say that thing's no smaller than at least 10 feet in diameter is my judgment on how large this thing was. I don't think it was a small 1-foot balloon. It looked like a windy day. It seemed like it was stable in its own sense in the sky. We're going to keep it a skeptical eye on it. But in my opinion, it's unidentified, and that's why we shared it to you guys right here at Third Phase Moon. Appreciate it. Dr. J Radio Live. Be sure to check out his radio show. His link is in the description. And Preston Dennett, we got his links to all of his incredible books that he's written in regards to the UFO phenomenon. Everybody keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone. Blake Cousins. We'll see you again next time. All the way from Canada, Lake Champlain's known for sea creatures. You're looking at the photographs right now. We got Preston Dennett from California. We got Johnny from the UK, and we got Dr. J, Andy Elias with Dr. J Radio Live. And we're going to be going over the photographs. We got video as well that's coming in. Cindy captured this while she was snorkeling with her GoPro camera, she claims. And this creature darted out and actually attacked her. We're looking at the photographs. I wanted to get Preston Dennett's opinion. He's into UFOs. He has about 17 books in regards to UFOs over Los Angeles. But are you interested in sea creatures, Preston?
Actually I am. It started with Bigfoot, and I learned there's a whole field called cryptozoology, which involves unexplained creatures, and new species are being discovered all the time. Bigfoot is one controversial one. Lake monsters is right up there with them. I've studied several lake monsters in California, Lake Tahoe, for example, Lake Elsinore, Lake Elizabeth, all reportedly have lake monsters, and I know about Lake Champlain for sure.
Well, your first impressions, Preston, of these photographs that Cindy's just shared, we're hoping we could get to the video shortly.
At first glance, they're really impressive. They appear to show what seems to be a very large creature underwater. with a long snake-like neck and a sort of a bird-like, dragon-like head, and which is actually very commonly described. There's got to be at least, I'm guessing, 50 or 100 reports of the lake monster in Lake Champlain. It's called Champ. There's a long tradition of it. It goes back many, many years, and there are several cases of photographs and multiple witnesses. So this is an exciting case. This is like breaking news. I'm pretty excited to see this. I've just looked at the photographs only moments ago, and wow, some of them this thing comes right up to the witness. We're talking just a few feet away. So this would be really hard to fake.
That's exactly right, Preston. It would be really hard to fake, and it could be a fake. But we're not going to suppress the photos as they come into third phase. I think we got to get it out there. And we wanted to get Johnny Webb from the UK, your opinion on the photographs.
Yeah, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead, Johnny. What's your opinion on the photographs?
Well, again, it's very similar to what we have over here in Scotland, the Loch Ness Monster. It's got that sort of typical head and, like as Preston said, that bird-like face. If it's a primitive thing, I'd expect to have more fins on it, but it almost looks like it's got front legs, like it's a dog doing front crawl, what brings to mind when I think of it and I look at the colours of it, it reminds me of a famous sort of recent HD picture of a lion underwater, and he's swimming down there, or a tiger. I think it might even be a leopard. But it was one of these sort of big beasts, and it does the front crawl and the colours of it. But as I look at it, it's got that sort of ancient look about it. So, Preston seems to feel that this is some sort of prehistoric monster. And it reminds me, here in England, we have the Natural History Museum, which is full of skeletons and bones and all sorts of things that are similar to that. I can't say I've ever seen anything like it myself, but as I look at it, it reminds me of something prehistoric, and I'd like to ask Preston, what does he think about how prehistoric creatures of the past can sort of live in today's domain?
Oh, well, we know that that's absolutely true. And the perfect example would be crocodiles and birds, a lot of the birds as well. And particularly the whole reptilian and fish environment. So I'm not at all surprised to see something like this still surviving today. And in fact, there's been some scientific evidence done on Champ, the lake monster of Lake Champlain. There has been some echolocation studies where they tried to find this creature, and they put on microphones beneath the lake and actually heard this thing communicating through echolocation. So they know that there's a very large creature in there using this sort of technique that's only used by large creatures.
Absolutely, Preston, you're exactly right on the sonar hits have been even captured, not only in Lake Champlain, but in Scotland at the Loch Ness. The police horse comes to mind, extinct over 70 million years ago, but people say that that could be what's being spotted in the Loch Ness as well as in Lake Champlain. We got Dr. J with us from Dr. J Radio Live. Dr. J, what's your opinions? I know that there's a lot of creatures that have yet to be discovered.
Yeah, what this GoPro image scene that you're showing, Blake, is really amazing. I mean, okay, sure, it could be hoax. Okay, I'm not going to throw that out the window, but
it looks like some of the creatures you see in Thailand.
Still, yeah, it's truly amazing.
Absolutely.
Do you think it goes?
Go ahead, John.
Do you think it goes into some sort of ocean and it sort of comes in and out of that lake, over a sort of period like sharks, how they migrate down to South Africa, but they're not always there,
That's a good question, Johnny. Preston probably knows more about Lake Champlain. I know that the Loch Ness, the loch itself, has been sealed off over millions of years, and that the Nessie was possibly trapped in as the mountains kind of formed around the loch itself. But does Lake Champlain have any channels to the ocean, Preston?
No, I don't believe it is. I believe it's a landlocked lake, but it's very long and narrow and has a lot of trenches to it and very deep in parts, and there's certainly a lot of places for a creature like this to hide. And I think sorry to cut you off,
Preston. Hold on a sec. We just got the video in from Cindy. We've been looking over photographs. How we're going to watch for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, here we go.
Okay, send it to us. Yeah, by all means.
We're going to play it, screen capture. We're going to watch it for the first time. Let's watch it.
Okay, hold on. I'm not seeing anything, so...
Alright, I'm seeing it. Alright, there we go. Wow. Alright, that was fast. That was pretty impressive, actually. Whoa, there it goes away. Alright. Wow.
Yes, yes.
Whew.
Yeah, well, it looked big.
We got the video now. Now we got the video. Cindy, we're going to have to get her on. I'm wanting to get her on Third Phase, get her side of what went down. She actually claimed this thing attacked her, and you can see in the video right there, that's exactly what happened. This is, Dr. J, did you get to see this?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. It's amazing.
So, you know what I'm thinking?
I'm going to back the video up, or we're going to watch it again. Go ahead.
So this thing looks like it's, needs food. It's coming up to feed. No, it's a human. I mean, we don't know how intelligent these things are. I'm presuming that they're more intelligent than the average fish, and know how to keep.
Look, did you just see that in that split frame? It actually opens its mouth.
Right.
The attack right
Yes,
there. Boom.
I did too. Yeah, look at
It
that.
is
Was
interesting
that
because
eye?
it doesn't look, it's got teeth. It looks like it's sort of got some type of what you'd get on the bottom of an octopus or something like that. Not tentacles, but it's got that sort of wavy type mouth that seems like skin, if not a jawbone.
Gentlemen, is this a carnivore or an herbivore? I mean, is it
Exactly.
trying to eat the woman like a shark?
I don't think it. She explains that she almost felt as if it was just warning her, "Stay away, leave me alone."
Okay, it's her. It's
We're
his
there on the
home.
surface now, right? Yeah, there we are. We're on the surface. All right. That's pretty interesting.
Preston, what do you think about the video firsthand? Like you saw the attack, the dimensions, the opening of the mouth. Now that seems it couldn't be CGI.
No, I mean this thing looks like it's coming from underwater. It looks like a very large creature. The video is very quick, and you see it coming up, attacking her right up to the surface. It looks like, and then darting away very quickly. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. The still photos actually of the video allow you to examine it more closely, and you get a really good look that this is a large reptilian type thing. You can see teeth. It's hard to tell if they're like fangs or just, sort of molars. But you can see its mouth right there, and you can see its fins, its little hands there. It's pretty detailed. So it's a very impressive video, to say the least. So I'm very interested to hear what the witness has to say, yeah.
As far as sharing these videos and photographs right here at Third Phase, we want to get it out to breaking news, get other people's opinions right away. And I think that's exactly what we did tonight. Everybody, stay tuned for more updates. I know Dr. J Radio Live is going to have updates. We're going to be collaborating with him on getting this word out. And
Absolutely.
stay tuned for that. Check out his channel. We're going to have the link below. And Johnny Webb from the UK, any last words there?
Yeah, well, it's hard to say because, as I look at it, the more I've seen now than the other video, it's alive, it's real. It's quite shocking, really, to see it like that. If it is CGI, it is bloody well done because I do some quite gaming sort of stuff myself and I see a lot of graphics and that looks very good. It looks real. It still gives me an impression of a tiger underwater, but I know it's not because of the head is that bird head. Frightening to think that these things are around. I wonder, whether they are prehistoric or whether we're now, putting genes together and creating these things. I wonder what's really going on. Or is there a porthole underneath that lake? What's going on there? Is it, to bring these dimensional creatures here? It's quite concerning, really. But that's just my personal thoughts.
Well, I think
but it's frightening.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John. I think there's a lot to be discovered here on planet Earth, and maybe this is something that people have been seeing for centuries over there at the Lake Champlain. Could this be the Champ? Everybody,
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
There are lakes with monsters, monsters that look like dinosaurs right now here on Earth.
Well, I think about, the Pacific Ocean and that Fukushima that's been leaking now for nearly 4 years, and some of the creatures that are washing up, they're looking pretty sort of blobby, jellified, sort of disformed creatures, mutations, that's going on. And I'm wondering if this is some kind of a mutation.
I don't think so. I know that it goes back to at least the 1600s, because the Native Americans there were also seeing this monster and described it at least as being 10 feet long. And I know it goes back hundreds of years. And as far as that, there's sea monsters all throughout the oceans, up and down the California coast. It's actually pretty common for a number of years throughout the 20s and 30s. A lot of really highly reputable people were seeing exactly this type of creature. So in rivers as well. So I think it's actually a lot more common than people realize.
Absolutely, with all the mass sightings around the planet in regards to strange creatures. Cryptozoology is a thing that people really keep a close eye on, and I'm pretty sure that people are going to be keeping a close eye on this. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Preston Dennett, we got Johnny Webb, and Dr. J Radio. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies and underwater. You never know what you're going to see. Blake Cousins, we'll see everybody again next time.
Unidentified flying object.
A new pyramid discovered on Mars. A massive structure submitted from Spain. People from Spain shouting out. Third Phase Moon submitting footage. That's what it's all about. You gotta look at this imagery. A pyramid buried under a mountain on Mars? Is this what NASA doesn't want you to see? That's a big question. There's been pyramids spotted on Mars, but I'd have to say this is the biggest, in my opinion, concealed under a mountain. Now let's get to the next one. Astoria, New York, a plasmic UFO, and a massive light display. Take a look at this video. Third Phase of Moon is always sharing new information as it comes in. What's going on here? Drone? This is no drone, in my opinion. This is a plasmic display of extraterrestrial origin. HARP? Sir? Not exactly sure. It is quite amazing. Notice as the lights zigzag in the clouds. Is this some kind of interdimensional being of some sort? We're adding brightness, contrast. Light Spirit submits the footage from New York, and I would have to say this is not a drone or any kind of aircraft that I'm aware of. It's a natural phenomenon captured, and it's being shared right now to the world. Space Telescope hunts for UFO exoplanets, as they state. Speculation is that, do they have the ability to detect artificial structures? We're clearing things up right here at Third Phase of Moon as far as discoveries being made by NASA. Mega structures? We're going over that right now. Also, UFO sightings in Los Angeles, October 11th. Mass sightings of UFOs. It's going to be an incredible show. Stay tuned. we're going to get to the bottom of this Kepler breaking news right now. Blake Cousins here. Welcome to Third Phase Moon. We got Brent Cousins here as well. We're going over scientists. As they say, Kepler has been collecting data on the star for 4 years and detecting unusual light patterns. Brent, the first opinion on this breaking news, how's the social media going to deal with this?
That's a good question, Blake. They have been picking up the story right now, and I think Third Phase Moon has a big part to do with that. Look at the information coming out. It could be the smoking gun in human history. What's going on? We're talking about massive megastructures. Something the size and even larger than Jupiter, our gas planet. These things are devastatingly large.
Beyond imagination, in my opinion. People don't comprehend how large the universe really is. Scientists say they studied this star, which is located about 1.480 light years away. That means the light hitting us right now from this image that's been captured by Kepler has been broadcast for 1500 years, going the speed of light. Imagine that. Found that it emits light patterns far stranger than those seen on any other stars. So this is what Kepler's kind of confused about.
Obviously, it seems NASA, Kepler, they're very confused about it. But to the local UFO community, it's exactly what we expected. It's very true that NASA is trying to maybe do small disclosure, and Kepler as well, to the masses, but we already know that this is what science looks for. If there's a class 3 star system in the universe, they're gonna harness the sun, their star, and this is what we're looking at. The evidence shows what's happening here is unusual light patterns, objects going up and down, random transits. You know, this does not make sense to planets.
What doesn't make sense is exactly what alien technology consists of. We're people, we're the humans. Trust me, we don't know exactly what's going on, and we're trying to figure it out. As far as the experts say from Kepler, this object that circles KIC 8462852 in a tight formation, it was a mess, and it's big enough to block a substantial amount of starlight. What is blocking this? Is there a reason behind it? Is there a pattern?
I call false flag on those skeptics right now, and I'm calling a false flag on SETI. They just mentioned.
Hold on a sec. You're exactly right, Brian. SETI says they're going to paint their.
That's right.
SETI's going to point their radio waves or their SETI communication devices towards this area. Go ahead.
That has already been done long ago. Research has already proven this. I can guarantee right now that the government has already heard of this decades earlier, and I would admit right now that our governments are already decades ahead of this information, and they're just disclosing it to us right now just to entice our way of thinking for disclosure. Come on, guys, give it up, because we know they're already out there.
They're out there. Jason Wright states, Brent, that an astronomer from Penn State University said he thinks that this oddity could be an alien megastructure. That's coming from a Penn State University astronomer, people. More testimony from experts that can't explain what's going on. Before we get to this Los Angeles footage and UFOs, Brent's got more statements, because this is big breaking news. I believe that we're not alone, and this could be massive
a wake-up call for the world. You're right, Blake. Massive indeed. Gas planets. Jupiter is our largest planet in our solar system. Imagine something 10 times that size. This is technology that's beyond comprehension. Now let's go to Los Angeles, like you just said, Blake.
The man that summons UFOs. He submitted footage from his October 11th event over there at MacArthur Park. We're looking over the footage. It's a big turnout. Japanese television showed up actually to document what was captured in the skies. Here's some of it.
Unidentified flying object.
Brent, what's your thoughts on the event, October 11th, MacArthur Park?
What I like about it, Blake, is that there was a second summit in Los Angeles, about 50 miles away in San Diego. Somebody did the same thing at the same time that Robert Bingham was throwing this event, and this is what he captured.
Multiple UFOs off the California coast. San Diego. We got this video captured the same day. You're exactly right, Brent. He wasn't able to make it to the Bingham event, but he tried. And he captured what looks to be a metallic disc. What happened? San Diego, Los Angeles, the California coast, October 11th, multiple sightings. The Japanese crew was there. They captured something. We'll be keeping people updated of what happened on October 11th. Hey Brent, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase Moon in regards to this breaking news. Mega structures around the universe.
Thanks, Blake. This could be it, and everybody keep your eyes on the skies. Thanks, Blake.
Well, Brent, that's my line, but hey, appreciate it. Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins, a rancher, and a strange noise and a UFO encounter captured. Oh my God, we got the submitter right here on Third Phase Moon. We're gonna get to him right now. Let's, hopefully this is him. Jack, you there?
Hello. Hello, is this Blake Cousins?
Yeah, it's Blake. Thanks. Hold on a sec. You're coming in a little broken. We're getting a little bit of feedback. Okay.
Well, I've got this incredible footage I really wanted to share with you folks tonight.
I know, we already got it. We're going over it right now. And I just wanted to I wanted to let you know we enhanced the footage. We already zoomed in on it. We want to share it on Third Phase Moon. Is that okay?
That's great. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I think everybody really needs to see what I saw out there tonight. This is incredible. I mean, we have been living on this ranch for about 4 years now. It's quite a large ranch, and we have quite a few head of stock out there. And in recent weeks, we've been getting a lot of problems with the stock. They've been acting real erratic, and we've been having a lot of control issues. They've been running all around, just getting lost, getting out of the herd, and going crazy up there. And I was wondering what the heck's going on up there, and I finally went up there, and I was watering the horses.
Hold on a sec, Jack. I just wanted to get to the point that we're looking at this video right now. We're gonna play the raw, and you're gonna hear the soundtrack of what he captured. It's quite incredible. It's a weird sound. I've never heard anything quite like it, but I want to get to this video footage. Stay tuned for the audio and the raw cut coming up. Jack, what about this metallic disc that you captured, as you just said? You found it.
Yes, sir. I've never seen anything like it. That's why I was so glad I had my camera up there with me, because I saw the whole thing, and I got it on film, and it's just incredible. I must say, I don't know what I saw. And I want to ask you what you think this thing is.
Well, let me tell you, it's nothing that I've ever seen before. Here's a question to you. I've watched the whole video before you just called in, and thanks for calling into Third Phase Minute. That's what it's all about, real-time corresponding around the world. Can you tell us exactly where this was captured?
I don't exactly want to say where I live, because where I live is right next to a military installation, and that's what makes me a little bit troubled about disclosing the location. I don't want to get myself in any trouble. We just moved here just a few years ago, and I'm quite happy here, but I don't know what's going on out there.
Well, you captured something quite amazing. You actually focused. You're not saying much in the video. Were you intimidated by this close encounter?
You know, to be quite honest, I was scared out of my pants. You know, I didn't think I was going to die, but I thought I might be abducted or something. It seemed like a spaceship or something I never saw before, and it startled me, quite honestly.
Okay, Jack, so you believe in extraterrestrials?
Well, quite frankly, I hadn't up to this point, but after today, I really don't know. This is about the only explanation I can come up with. It's either that or some kind of military thing, or some combination of the two.
Let me ask you this, Jack. We're going to enhance the video. We're zooming in on this object, whatever it is, and it seems to like pivot left and right very rapidly, like within a second. Did you notice this? Is this some kind of drone, in your opinion?
You know, I've seen a lot of these little drones that the kids are playing with and things like that on TV, but I've never seen nothing fly in that kind of a manner. So, and the size of it too looked a little larger than the drones that I've seen on TV. It was a real windy day out there too, and the thing just stayed real steady in the sky, and I ain't never seen nothing hang in the sky like that on a windy day. Even a large plane would have moved around or something. I can't understand how it could stay so steady.
Well, some people automatically would say it'd be a balloon of some sort, but I'm already agreeing with you, Jack, that I'm watching the winds. Drones really can't be that stable in this kind of wind speed. How?
I think it was going about 30, 40 miles an hour maybe, and then it came to a dead stop, and that really freaked me out.
All right, this sound now. We're about to get to your raw video, Jack, and we really want to thank you for joining us. What about this sound? What does it resonate through the body? Where is it coming from? Do you think it came from this craft?
Well, I felt the vibration myself, and I think I heard it. It sounded like the sound was coming from inside my own head, and that's something that also scared me. I never felt like that, like I was in a vacuum chamber in a tunnel or something. The way the sound was coming from inside of my ears, in the middle of my head. I don't know. It was definitely a vibration. I guess you could say it was a sound.
Well, we're going to play the sound right now, Jack. One last question. How old are you?
I'm 57 years old.
Jack, appreciate it. The sound is quite incredible. Everybody's going to hear that right now. Jack, stay in touch, will you? You know, is it still happening, the sound? Has anything been resolved?
Well, you know, the ship is not just staying there. It was only there for about a couple of minutes, and then it was gone. And so I'll be keeping an eye out, that's for sure. And I will never leave the house without my camera again, because I still can't exactly come to terms with what I saw today. But I'll stay in touch, and I hope to find some resolution to this, because this is a little bit disturbing for me. And I'd like to have some answers on this.
Wow, Jack, appreciate making contact. Well, what you captured is, in my opinion, a phenomenon in reverse engineered alien technology. That was Jack from an undisclosed area with incredible video. I'd have to say is quite genuine. We hope Jack has his cameras to the sky, and we might even hear from Jack again. Wow, we're getting more calls in as Third Phase of Moon is going to break this right now. Here is the raw audio and raw video. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. We'll see everybody again next time.
cannot believe we just now seen that. I was watching for it the entire time.
Blake Cousins, Third Phase of Moon. More breaking news just in tonight from Renee.
Why is it just like chilling?
Submitted
right? And it's not doing
something that I usually don't go over with.
It really did
videos that I
us.
usually
really
don't share. A dot in the dark sky. We get them all the time, but the testimony that you're about to hear and what happens next is quite amazing.
You see that?
Take a look at this.
It's like, you know... Oh, did you see that? What in the hell? What? It just flashed. It's flashing. It's flashing. Oh my God, Nani, it's your first UFO. It's flashing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Another one just shot out from under it. What in the fuck is that? Did you get that? Yes. I'm shaking so bad right now. This is amazing. Did you see that? It just shot another UFO out the bottom of it.
Wow, we got Brent Cousins, Orlando Smith, and myself going over this video right now. We're going to zoom in, watch this over and over again, and see what it is, if we can explain what it is. I'm not exactly sure. I'm thinking that this isn't something ordinary. Drone? Maybe, but they don't hear anything in the video. The testimony from the people on the ground, Renee Bergerke, you could hear her and her friends and family members. They're in shock. They just noticed something before they even turned the cameras on, and they managed to capture something that would have been benign to most people. Renee had a good eye to keep her camera rolling at this exact moment of a UFO releasing some kind of other identified object as it makes its way down to planet Earth. We got Brent Cousins and geospatial analyst Orlando Smith with us. I want to get Orlando Smith's first reaction. On a scale from 1 to 10, is this video legit?
This video is definitely legitimate, but I can't tell you what it is that we're seeing in the video. It seems like two objects. It starts off as what seems like one object, and then you see a second object floating upward while the main object is either ignited or it just lights are flashing from it, emanating from it. But those seem like real objects to me in the sky. I just don't know what they are.
Amazing! Did you see that? It just shot another UFO out the bottom.
Renee is actually an investigator herself in Sutherland, Oregon. She goes around asking people questions. Everybody, take a look at her channel, and the original video is in the link below. We love sharing contact and credit where credit's deserved. Brent, I want to get your opinion on this. We've seen a lot of drone footage at night. The blinky lights, the green, reds, it gives it all away. But have you ever seen anything like this, and this kind of clarity of a consistent light, and then a dispatch of some sort? And you hear the women's reactions. That's, in my opinion, incredible stuff. I got to give this video a 10 in genuine activity. Brent, first of all, 1 through 10, go ahead. Blake, I'm giving it a 10 right now because we're seeing something that they explained earlier. This thing was out in the open. At first, Blake, like he said, I was ready to dismiss this video. It happened, we were watching it for about 2 minutes and I'm like, shut it down. But then this thing exploded and released something that's not normal in the night skies. This is not Amazon technology dropping a pizza off at your regular house. This is not in the open. You're right, Brent. This isn't Amazon or Google experiments going down. Liability would be off the hook. If somebody's playing a prank up there and throwing drones and trying to do something, then themselves are liable. So watch out for that, people. What we're watching, I think, is something beyond that. I think it's what Renee says. Something unexplainable. And I want to say, if anybody's captured anything amazing out there, submit it to Third Phase of Moon. And stay away from the white dots in the dark sky. Unless you know it's going to do something. It's something incredible. We'll want to see it. Just like Renee's video. Orlando, Brent, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase Moon. We're playing the raw video right now, along with audio. Enjoy. Everybody keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins. We're not alone. We'll see you again next time.
I cannot believe we just now seen that. I was watching for it the entire time. Why is it just like chilling?
Right? And it's not doing a straight line. It's like just zigzagging and just,
It really did follow us. It really does stop. What the hell?
we're at my town. My home.
Do you see that? It has just stopped.
Right? It's going slow and it like jags and moves. It doesn't go to a completely straight line. It's like slowing down. Oh, wait. Now it's...
Okay, let's get...
Why don't you just stop?
See?
Okay,
watch it though.
I just live a few blocks away. We need to leave.
No, we don't need to leave. We need to watch this thing.
Is it still recording?
Yes. I had to start it over.
It stopped.
That is a freaking UFO.
That's what I see, but it was so much bigger. It was so much closer.
It was bigger when I first seen it. It's like just floating there.
I know, right? That's why I'm like, wait a minute.
What is going on here? No, you're not going to call Lisa.
Did it like flash on
Yes.
When I seen it, it was closer, and then it turned bright white, and then it was like was gone. It like vanished, like it.
It's literally just sitting there.
I think it's climbing. It's going up higher, and it just looks like, you know. Oh, did you see that?
What in the hell?
Look.
It just flashed. It's flashing. It's flashing.
Now,
Oh my God, Nani, it's your first UFO. It's flashing.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Another one just shot out from under it. What in the fuck is that?
Did you get that?
Yes. I'm shaking so bad right now. This is amazing. Did you see that? It just shot another UFO out the bottom of it.
Let's go.
We have an unidentified object.
Blake Cousins here, third phase of Moon, going over breaking news. WTF? What the? This is what the Independent says. Massive piece of junk, dubbed WTF, on collision course with Earth. The Washington Post, mysterious space junk is hurtling towards Earth, and scientists are super excited. What? Scientific America also states mysterious space junk will plunge into Earth this November. This is just breaking news just into third phase of Moon. This unidentified object, whatever it is, some people are claiming that it could be Apollo mission debris or a recent launch by satellite, but whatever it is, we got to be prepared. It will be landing, experts say, in the Indian Ocean. Have your cameras ready in that region. November 13th, 2015 was captured and discovered by the Catalina survey. They're looking for near-Earth objects, asteroids, comets, meteorites. They have the eye out, but they still don't know exactly what this is. Why they dubbed it WTF? Now that's a big question. It seems like they're baffled, and they're going to be trying to track this thing as it enters Earth's atmosphere. That should be quite exciting. I want to get Brent's opinion about this. And here's a question to everybody. Do you think that our scientific capability with NORAD and all the satellites tracking these objects in the sky, space junk, if you will, that they should know what this object is, and they're still not explaining it to us? They don't think that it's going to be the end of the world, but it's still unusual in my opinion. Brent?
This craft, this object definitely won't really be much of an impact on Earth. It's not large enough. It's basically maybe the size of rockets sent into space during the Apollo missions. Maybe they're even saying it could be the Chinese last mission to the moon, some space junk off of that. We're not quite sure. You know, they're saying it could be 40-year-old debris. I think they would have tracked this a long time ago and they would know what it is. So for them to say WTF,
exactly, Brent. They should be knowing what's going on in space over planet Earth. It is our only home as we know it. They do know about this one though. This is what's quite strange. This large asteroid. They dubbed it the Halloween asteroid TB145. It's a hazardous pass, they say, within 300,000 miles of Earth. Now this is getting big now. NASA states that this asteroid will be no threat to Earth whatsoever, but if it was, would they even tell us? That's a big question again. You know, they don't know what this object is, but then they know about asteroids. They know, pretty much claim that they got all the space junk tracked in space, but they don't know what's going to be happening November 13th, 2015 of this unknown WTF object entering Earth's atmosphere. Stay tuned to Third Phase of Moon for more updates. And if you've captured anything in regards to the UFO phenomenon, submit it to Third Phase of Moon via Skype, Facebook. Contact us at our About page on YouTube. We'll be looking out for that. Everybody keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone. Blake Cousins. We'll see you again next time. Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. Wow. You know, we got a big episode for everybody around the world tonight. Grab your friends right now because this is breaking news in regards to Mr. Fazal. An employee at CERN claims the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland could now soon make contact with parallel universes. Are we ready for this? The interdimensional world is about to be woken up. I've always stated that what we may be seeing are interdimensional beings being captured around the world. This is going to be a huge story. We got Orlando Smith, geospatial analyst. He's going to be here. Brent Cousins. We're going to be going also over breaking news of what this is all about. Kepler, the Hadron Collider. You know, this is going to be a big story. Stay tuned. Third phase a minute. What comes next? What Brent has to share is quite amazing in regards to this megastructure captured by Kepler 1500 years in the making. But before we get to that, Hadron Collider at CERN. And I want to ask everybody on the panel, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. And leave your comments below on what you think in regards to this question I'm about to ask right now. Is it okay for CERN to open up a parallel universe? It's very simple. Give me your answer. Let's start with Brent Cousins. Go ahead.
What I find interesting, Blake, is that they're looking at using gravity. Maybe gravity can actually leak into extra dimensions. You know, there are thousands to millions of dimensions right now. What's going on? We're just one dimension, and they're trying to tap into this, and we haven't even figured out our first dimension. This is quite dangerous in my mind.
Dangerous indeed. Could you imagine right now a million multi-dimensions of planet Earth right now? Yourself a million times. Whoever you are walking around, you go one way, you go the other way. But if you want to link them up, what kind of paradox could this happen in a time continuum explosion? Now, this is why I think people could be concerned about CERN. And scientists actually are scared of these experiments, and they're doing it under the guise of trying to figure out what our universe is all about. Well, just look to the stars right here at Kepler. They're figuring it out, but they're not jeopardizing planet Earth at the moment. Geospatial analyst Orlando Smith, we just broke this news to him today. I want to get your opinion. Do you think CERN should be opening up parallel universes?
Well, thank you for having me on the show, Blake. You know, I do think that it might be a little presumptuous for us to assume that we're opening up parallel universes. At the same time, it does seem like we're kind of upon a paradigm shift where we're getting down to the base particles, the subparticles, you know. After leptons and muons, where do we go? Are we going into another universe? As we kind of go beyond what we know as the subatomic, you know, it's not exactly certain what is going to happen. That's what might be causing a lot of fears around the world. Do I think we should go ahead with the experiment? You know, that's a tough question. I generally do, because I think in general, humankind wants to quest forward. We have a natural sense of curiosity that's built into us. That's what propels us to evolve. And so I think we're gonna go ahead with the experiment, and I think we really should.
Well, you know, that's fair enough, Orlando. And, you know, I have to almost say I agree with that. My problem is the deception of secrecy. They're not opening up about what they're... Well, they admit themselves at CERN. They don't know what's going to happen. That's what's scary. They don't know if they're going to open up a time warp. Dealing with parallel universes and taking a chance. Well, maybe they're going to do it, like you just said, but is it a good idea? What if you would think about Hitler on another parallel universe and open that up and see what happens? I'm just putting it out there. You're just messing with God.
God is right. And CERN, Switzerland, you know, I'm still on the fence on everything that's going on over there. They put taxpayers' money, the largest machine ever built, and it's kind of on a cloak of cover right now. They have Shiva, God statue, right in front of their headquarters over there, and Shiva stands for destructions of universes. This is what's happening maybe on a daily basis right now in Switzerland, and they're not giving us a full information because there's more out there than they're giving us.
Okay, Brent, you know, this is what I'm saying. They don't know what they're doing. Imagine if you're in another parallel universe and you want to be sucked into this CERN contraption and ruin your day, pretty much ruin your day. I'm not saying that I might not want to be part of that. Orlando Smith, would you want to be part of that, living in another universe and, hey, we want to tap into you and suck you out?
That sounds like being disturbed, and I don't want to be disturbed, but I do want to be intrigued. I do want to be enlightened, and it's kind of like a paradox. I don't know if we don't know the answer, and so do we take the leap forward, or do we stand still? It's kind of a hard choice to make. Maybe we're okay where we are. Maybe we want to take that leap forward and change the paradigm, and we could be in a much better place. Maybe if we are entering higher dimensions, then perhaps we might learn things that might be beneficial to us, that may even help us to avert disaster in our present circumstances. So we don't know.
You're not answering the question, Orlando. I'm just saying, if you're in another parallel universe and you had no idea what this other parallel universe is, and they wanted to open up the door and go, hey, we're open now, and they just want to come in, are you ready for that? That's my question. It's very simple.
Where does the door lead to? You know, if the door leads to an exciting new paradigm, is the door opening up new opportunities for us, or is the door gonna open up Pandora's box and unleash like the worst of our possible nightmares? It's possible. We've done this before. We've embarked on territory where we have made decisions in the past, like with the atomic bomb. We didn't know if that was gonna cause a chain reaction. We still went forth with it. And then look at the political and social and environmental implications of that decision. It was horrible. And so now the fears are really warranted. People probably should be wondering what is going to happen, and why are we doing this? And at the same time, with all the
sounds like, Orlando, you just want to roll the dice, right?
For me, I generally tend to lead towards carefully trying to satisfy that curiosity. I'm a scientist. I wanna answer questions.
Hold on a sec. So you're saying CERN's careful about this, and they state that they don't even know what's going on.
Well, how careful can you be when you're dealing with mathematics on the theoretical level? It's not like a visual linear equation that just clearly states whether something's good or bad, whether it's up or down. It's kind of, we're out there in the soup and we're just exploring. And I think if we try to just have some consciousness and have a little bit of positive and faithful diligence, I don't think we're gonna harm ourselves.
Wow, you actually think that diligence and enlightenment in this case is that CERN's taking a risk and we're not going to harm ourselves? To me, in that sense, gets a little bit like a godlike particle. In my own sense, they're messing around with it, and you want to mess around with God, then go ahead. Maybe the aliens are going to come in extraterrestrial, like we're seeing with Kepler. Let's get to Kepler now, because I think what we're talking about is even beyond what human capability and mindset really is. The theory coming in, and it's breaking news right now, and Brent's got some new breaking news in regards to this mega structure captured approximately 15 million light years away. You got to imagine how far that is. 1,500 light years away. A civilization, as scientists are stating right now. Brent, I want to go to the breaking news that you have to say in regards to the subject matter. It's been breaking the internet in regards to the word getting out. We stated right here at Third Phase of the Moon a couple days before it actually even went mainstream, and people were kind of confused. Now people are getting their brains about what this possibly could be. go ahead and enlighten the listeners on what we're talking about. Then go to the breaking news. I want to hear this.
Let's start. We're in a class 3 civilization right here. This is the power of a civilization that can harness the power of the sun. I mean, not just harness it like we do here on Earth, solar panels. This is nothing compared to what we're seeing here. This is something gigantic. I mean, titanic. This is the size of Jupiter, maybe triple the size, maybe even larger. They say that this class system machine, the star energy system, could be surrounding it. A sphere surrounding a star, collecting the energy, harnessing the power that could blow the minds of any civilization in our universe.
Well, you know, that's quite amazing, is because you have to step aside and comprehend what we're talking about. Can you imagine the sun? Our own solar system has a sun. Imagine harnessing that like a battery, like an Energizer bunny, into your little galactic ship, whatever it is. That universe is abundant in massive energy that is ready to be harnessed. So we're talking about solar panels and climate change and fossil fuels. Now we're talking about class 3 civilizations harnessing energy from the sun. What's the breaking news? What's NASA gonna break? Right? What is it?
We are getting information, not from NASA, but you know what? Emails coming in from secret agencies that it's about to be announced. Probably at the White House. I'm considering that this is where it's going to be stated. We are not alone, and it's going to be announced real soon.
President Obama.
Let's just, Blake, I wanted to say, I needed to interrupt. What would be the best way for Obama to go out as being the president that announced that we are not alone in the universe? Orlando, any words to that?
Maybe it's a good time to tell the people of the planet that we're not alone, and that if we do have any neighbors, they're still considerably far away, so it's not exactly an imminent threat or anything like that. It's just maybe there's some geometric shapes out there that suggest we truly are not alone, and that's actually good news. You know, I think the people of the world can handle that.
Well, hold on a sec, Orlando. I really have to disagree with that statement, in my opinion. But as a geospatial analyst and a skeptic, as you think, I don't think you really believe that aliens have reached planet Earth, but I do. So in regards to this evidence, if it happened 1,500 light years ago, 1,500 years ago, you have to think that their technology is still existing, and if they're being able to harness energy off a sun, you would think that they would have been here already. What's your explanation to this?
In the same way I might leave some creature, some small cluster of creatures alone in my garden, I might just allow them to exist in their own organic state, you know? I might just respect their right to not be bothered by me. And so perhaps, you know, in a greater sense, I figure if civilizations are much more advanced than we are, and the scale of this alleged technology suggests they would be much, much more advanced than we are, then they would probably have even a greater wisdom, because it seems to me, though, in the universe, without wisdom, civilizations and organizational structures tend to degrade. And so something that's going to persist and go to a large scale is going to have inherent wisdom built into it, and that it might, in that sense, maybe it would recognize our right to just exist.
Well, you know, I'll have to agree with that statement, and I appreciate all the statements that has been said right here at Third Phase of Moon for tonight's breaking news. In regards to Kepler, NASA is about to possibly, well, maybe the White House, tell us we're not alone. It's about time. It's about time, people. Everybody keep your eyes on the skies. I want to thank Orlando Smith and Brent Cousins for joining us. We'll see everybody again